Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Be Blunt. Of course, it's your host Cheyenne. As always, my social medias are always in my bios of every platform I stream on, as well as in my link tree of every pretty much social media I have. Now, I know it's a little weird seeing me on video, but I had to do a video for this guest because he's too good not to be seeing all his facial expressions and all the ways you express yourself is too good not to have on video. Let me introduce producer Uncle John the third real quick. How are you today, dude?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Just grinding, hustling around the clock with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, as always, yo. I feel like it was meant to be for you to be on this podcast because when anybody listens to your beats and your music, it's very emotion based. There's so much more depth to it than just music. I feel like I want to talk to you a little bit about what really got you into the entertainment and music field in general. Like, how did you become you, pretty much?
I mean, as a kid, I kind of was like just, you know how, well, in my story,
Mm-hmm.
my mom and my dad, they would 3, 4 years old, they would always have parties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The type of parties they would have would either be uh basement infused,
Okay.
meaning they would be like at my aunt's basement or maybe my grandma's house in the basement. But
Mm-hmm.
they always had parties, and for some reason I was always like the kid that was stuck to my mother like glue, running around and shit. So, like,
And
my
we,
sisters, they might not have been at the parties, but
yeah.
I was like the kid that you can catch running around, while they partying, drinking, smoking,
Mm-hmm.
dancing to music and shit. And so as a kid, even as a kid, 3, 4, 5 years old, I can remember the vibes. I can remember the music.
Yeah.
I can remember someone that was at the party switching the record when it was time, because they play old school records. So when it was time to flip the record over, I always remember somebody doing that. And I
Mm-hmm.
just, these are things that play a role in my childhood before music even began for me. But
Okay.
what happened was uh me getting into hip hop
Mm-hmm.
versus like actual music. My older sister Crystal, she would she would always like put me up on music videos, and like I
Yeah.
would see her rap. I would see her rapping the song or the video, so I'm digging. I'm
Yeah.
vibing with her while she rapping it, and now I'm into the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got into hip hop. 6, 7, 8 years old. Those were
Mm-hmm.
my years of like studying hip hop as a kid and watching everybody from LL Cool J, because that was my favorite rapper. When I
Not
was
ladies
six,
lover.
yeah, when I was 6, LL was my favorite rapper and
Yeah.
shit. And when I was 8, Big Daddy Kane was my favorite rapper. I like Kane the most because
Yeah.
Kane had style, he had confidence, he could dress, you know what I'm saying, and he just
Yeah.
was smooth with his delivery. You know what I'm saying, like how he came off. So Kane really became my favorite rapper, when I was
Okay.
an 8-year-old child. But I still was gravitating to all hip hop MCs, whether it
Mm-hmm.
was KRS-One, Boogie Down Production, MC Light, Slick Rick,
Mm-hmm.
all of those people, De La Soul, all those people. I was a student, of the early hip hop game. It wasn't
Gotcha.
until I was a teenager where I met this guy my sister was dating, my older sister. She was dating this guy, and he would come over to the house. Now he reminded me of like a he was on some black rock hip hop type shit. Like he
Okay.
had a grunge look about him. Like he had like the hole in his. I never seen a black dude
Mm-hmm.
have this grunge type of feel. He had holes in his jeans, and
Mm-hmm.
he used to wear like sandals and like flannels and shit. He had a little look.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So one day, he saw me like messing with the turntable, because I would always have a turntable and I have a record, and I'll always be playing it with my headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of looping. I'll be like looping, doing a loop or something, like just kind of like making my own tapes. And he asked me like, he's like, "You rap?" I'm like, "No, I don't rap." I'm like, "I love music. I love hip hop, whatever."
Yeah.
He happened to be a rapper. Now this dude, he used to go to professional recording studios. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So he was like, man, ask your mom. I was like 13, 14 at the time. He's like, ask your mom. Because his thing was he would go to these studio sessions. He would do them late night. So he was on some late night shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he was like, I'll pick you up and then I'll take you to the studio so you can, you can kind of get a feel for how this process goes.
Yeah, definitely.
So he used to come pick me up in a fucking in like a tracker and shit. He had a little tracker.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like it was a little
yeah.
Jeep tracker. And I used to always hit that motherfucker before he pulled up and shit. Late at night. My mother gave it the okay because it kept me
Yeah.
out the streets. You know what I'm saying? And it was something that I was into. My mother always supported me with everything that I ever wanted to do. And I wanted to do music.
Yeah.
So it was a perfect win-win. I didn't have to pay nothing. He paid for all the studio time and the sessions and shit. So he came and he used to come and pick me up, take me to the recording studio. Now back then, there was no digital audio stuff. It was all analog. So
Now,
you were dealing with reel-to-reels. You were dealing
yeah.
with huge mixing boards. You were dealing with cutting the tape. It was the process of recording and the process of beat making was very old school and very hands-on. It wasn't like cheating and shit. So I got to like pick up and learn, back in the day early on. And this is why my sound today still sounds like how it sounds. But
Yeah.
all in all, I got into the actual business once I learned the music game. See, the music and the business are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
So the business didn't come to maybe a decade later because I had to kind of like struggle my way into that.
Yeah.
Thinking just having these dreams, thinking I'm gonna make it as a producer or musician or whatever. And then it took for me to actually look around and see my people were struggling when it came to having their paperwork in order or their business wasn't in order, their copyrights, their publishing.
Yeah.
So I had to learn the business side. I had to take a pause on producing. Then I had to learn the business side for a little while. Then I went back to producing. And then when I went back to producing, I started doing a lot of networking with artists, like big name artists and etc. Because I would get my connections right. I would go meet the right people and then they would get me to the right people. But what I started noticing was I wasn't doing it the right way. I would burn my beats on a CD and then I would give the CDs out, not knowing that a lot of these rappers would take my beat CDs, take them to the studio, not contact me at all, rap over the shit, and then put it on mixtapes. Everybody from Lil Wayne, Dipset, Rick Ross, Max, all these rappers way back early 2000s, you could find a lot of my past beats on a lot of those mixtapes because what they were doing was they was marketing themselves non-commercially. It was just basically taking original beats and rapping on them and shit. So I had to learn how not to get fucked in the business for a while. And that's why I stopped producing for a while and became an executive under a whole nother name you know about. And that's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But this Uncle John III shit is my resurgence and my comeback era, from producing like I did back in the day. I used to produce under the name John Doe. You know what I mean? So now with the Uncle John III brand, I'm on a serious run. And I'm doing this for my legacy. I'm doing this for my family. And I'm doing this for all my supporters, whoever supported me and know my story.
That's what's up. I feel like you gotta let people know first off how old you are. That way they can get the timeline that you're talking about.
I'm definitely an OG. Let's just put it like that. I'm an OG.
I know, because like when people that are 90s kids, and when I'm speaking 90s kids, I'm maybe like 98, so I'm not barely a 90s kid. When people talk about
I graduated high school in 98, so that lets you know something right there.
Like people talk about mixtapes and doing all that shit. I'm like, yeah, I remember it, but it's like when I think about music now and where the industry is going, if you're not either making your own beats at home, you're really just searching up YouTube shit and putting your music to it. Like no one's coming up with creative sounds unless you're talking about people like you who are coming back with all these OG, I guess, ass sounds,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the kids
I'm a
have never
sample.
heard that shit now,
I'm a sample based producer, so
Mhm.
like my sound is based on sampling. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like that's just what I've always done. That's what I'm gonna always do. If you
Yeah.
know my sound, I'm a sampler. I sample anything. I
Yeah.
sample a nigga getting his ass whooped and put it in the beat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's just how I am. I'm creative when it comes to sampling, and I like to carry on the tradition of sample based production.
Mm. So when you think about where you're seeing yourself going, like your goals for your company, yourself, your business in 2024, what do you think you see yourself? What you're trying to get to?
Last year I dropped almost 40 albums, and I
Okay.
put out about 15 singles and 15 EPs. This year I'm
Okay.
probably gonna do double the amount. And
Mhm.
this time is gonna be a lot more visuals, um, a lot more creative content.
Mhm.
I'm putting out next week, I'm dropping a really dope visual EPK about myself, about my
Okay.
upbringing, and just breaking that down. That's coming out next week. I got a book coming,
Okay.
just kind of like discussing everything I've ever been through in this music industry. I also have 2 comic books dropping this year. I'm gonna do. I got a project called the Confetti Experience, and I'm gonna be DJing this project
Okay.
in 7 markets from Seattle to Denver to Portland, Minnesota, Chicago, and New York. And with the Confetti Experience, it's pretty much gonna be electric and house type of music. And
Okay.
the BPM is like 110. It's sped up tracks. It's very groovy and very it's only going to be targeted for those who like that type of music, but the
Yeah.
vibes is crazy. And this is going to probably be one of my biggest projects of 2024. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this year it's going to be a lot of more exciting things, but more so I'm outside this time. Last year I was kind of like doing things from behind the scenes, dropping projects, but this year I'm outside and I'm moving to Uncle John the Third brand as well as the relatives and all of my projects I got coming out with a lot of artists because also got projects dropping with a whole lot of artists as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my work ethic is kind of insane, so I just wanted to make sure that I had a lot of these projects already buried in the
Mhm.
hatch before we even released them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of exciting things coming this year.
When you before we get too far into our discussion, let's talk about where people can find you at real quick. I know you got your social medias. Where exactly though can people contact you?
So
And as far as yeah, go ahead.
the website is www.unclejohnmusic.com. Now, my
Okay.
name is JONH, not JOHN. So UncleJohnmusic.com. JONH is the name spelling. And all social media, you can find me at Uncle John 3. You know what I'm saying? Anything Uncle John 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Where talking about artists, yo, the music industry right now is wild. Either you're a bitch shaking ass or you're a dude doing drugs. Like and it's not or you're like sad Drake shit. So like how are you finding your artists that you're working with? Are they coming to you really or is it just like
It's all relationship based. I like
okay,
to work with artists that I already have relationships with because I kind of
got
know the artist. I know the artist story. I know their pain. I know their struggle. I
got you.
know their backstory, and my job is to put the soundtrack to that. You know what I'm saying? I am open to working with new artists, but I kind of consider myself someone who's very keen of working with underground hip hop artists. I'm not really interested in mainstream because I've already achieved mainstream
Yeah.
success being an executive and being a marketer.
Mm.
As far as producing, I'd rather work with a lot of underground hip hop artists and kind of like put out music that fits the realm of that. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mhm.
if I do end up landing sync placements and doing some commercial stuff, I'm open to that, but that's not what I'm chasing as far as my career
Okay.
in the John the Third brand.
No, that definitely makes sense. I know I have artists that come up to me all the time asking for like promotions and stuff like that. Do you do like sponsorships outside of your
Yeah,
like art?
yeah. Like I said, under my other name, they can go and find out what I do for that, as far as
Right.
producing and as far as putting together an A&R and putting together and curating a lot of projects. I'm available to do all of that with the creative stuff. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing that me or my team does not do. We do it all. You know what I'm saying? Anything you name, anything you request, we got it all. We do it all.
Okay. Say less. Now that I got that out, I gotta ask you, what is your honest thoughts about like how you feel like how do I explain this the best way possible? The way that artists are portraying themselves nowadays, like what I was talking about a little bit before, it's really hard to promote good songs, I feel like, when what they're saying is either not matching how they actually are, or the projection that they're leaving on kids nowadays is a huge disgusting because you have kids out here singing Sexy Red songs and they're
Yeah.
like 5 years old. So like, how do you feel like as someone that's been in the music industry for a long time and seen the progression from like Lil Wayne per se to Ice Spice, like what do you think our music is just gonna continue to go into? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I'm the guy that I don't judge first and foremost
Yeah.
because when I was 11, we had NWA, and that was like some of the most filthiest. They were fucking
Yeah.
talking, they were talking about, if you listen to those albums, if you listen to the albums I listened to, they were talking about rape. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They were talking about bitch this, suck this, swallow this. It was a lot of explicit content. So when I see kids today and what they listen to, I
Mhm.
can't judge it because I remember the things I was into when I were their age as far as music goes. And
Mhm.
and my grandmother used to take my cassette tapes and put them at the bottom of the trash can and shit like that. So like, when I see the kids and what they into, I don't judge it. I just feel like with hip hop there needs to be a balance of commercial push when it comes to the underground, because on the underground there's a lot of more innovativeness, there's a lot of more conceptual music and music that got something to say.
Yeah,
With
simple
commercial rap,
lyrics.
yeah, with commercial rap is going to commercialize. They're going
Yeah.
to make things that resonate in the club. They're going to make things that resonate on playlists, and they're going to
Mhm.
make things that resonate to kids in a repetitive sense. You know what I mean? And that's how music works. Anything that's catchy, a kid's gonna remember it because it's so catchy. You know what I mean? So when you
Yeah.
hear ski, it's catchy, so it works. So that's just how the music ear goes. The music ear is gonna remember something that stands out.
Mm.
Somebody that's rapping about what they going through and they pain, it might not resonate to a large amount of crowds because that might not be what they want to hear. But the
Yeah.
person that is going through some shit, they might want to hear that. You know what I mean? They just have to find it so they can connect to it. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that's where the balance got to come in.
Okay, that makes total sense. I'm trying to get into new music. I always get recommendations from people. And it's so frustrating the fact that like you just have bitches out here just shaking ass and making millions. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
when there's
yeah. I
such
mean, like I
good
said, I don't
music.
judge it. You got to
I
understand
don't
this.
judge it. It's just
Yeah, this is a
unfortunate when there's such good
business.
music.
Yeah, this is a business first and foremost.
Mm,
And anytime big budget corporations are involved, sex
mm,
gonna sell.
yeah.
It's no different than Lil Kim, Foxy Brown. Nothing that the females before us did. It's just carrying on in a traditional manner. You know what I'm saying? It's just that
Mhm.
there was more lyrical content involved. And and
That's
and,
true.
and Kim and Foxy, they were really talking about some shit on the flip side. They might have had some songs where they was talking about sucking dick and getting fucked in the ass, but they also had some
Yeah.
songs where they was talking about how they going through some shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Mm,
where the balance of music got to come in. It has to be a balance when it comes to music. I think every artist should show their true artistry side, even if they're marketing themselves in a sexual or gangster or drill type of way.
that's true. That's true. I feel like though I don't know. Maybe it's just like I'm sick of like I was watching the MTV Awards the other day, and I was just like, "Yo, Usher's still out here doing his Usher thing, which is miraculous in the sense because like people still love Usher, and it's like, yo, if he's made it this long, I really do feel like Sexy Red is gonna be out here until like she's 60,
Well, you
out
know
here
what?
going skiing shit."
Well, you know what? The thing about longevity is you have to make something
Mhm.
that carves in the culture. And when I say make something that carves in the culture, I mean create something that you'll forever be remembered for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can't make stuff that you'll forever be remembered for, then you're gonna disappear and you're gonna be out of there. Because people only remember you for a certain song, or they might remember you forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot of songs that came out and we can't remember the artist. We remember the song, but we can't remember the artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is why I say you have to make something that carves in the culture, because it forever lives on. You know what I'm saying? Confessions was Usher's best album, so he's able to perform the entire album 500 times. And
Anywhere he goes.
nobody's ever going to get tired of it, because he made an impact with that particular CD. You get what I'm saying? He don't have to do no other CDs. That particular CD is the one that sticks out the most.
I was
Same with Jeezy.
Exactly. Yeah.
101. That was the best Jeezy project, and he can go and perform that shit 20 years from now, and it's still gonna work.
That's true. It's crazy. I was watching the news and I really started to picture, because they're talking about, doing holograms for celebrities and holograms for musicians and shit like that. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, would I actually go see Michael Jackson in hologram? Hell yeah. Like, I never got to see him in actual life, so like, would it be Whitney Houston? Would it be just as cool to see him as a hologram, or could I really just sit at home?
Yeah. If I had to see the hologram, I'd want to watch that shit from afar. I'd go, but I don't think I would want to be like in the first 10 rows. I would want to see it to really feel that it's really them on stage. So I would want to be put up a little further, just so I can see the body motion and it feels more real than being too up close and it feel a little spooky or a little fake.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. I feel like if we get to the point in music and entertainment where the current generation of music is so boring that we have to revive past artists, like, that's a little sad.
The thing is, that's why they got to keep making it interesting. They got to keep trying to find ways to keep us engaged when it comes to artists that are gone, even from the past as well. Because, I'm a huge Prince fan, and notice the painting in the back. I'm a huge Prince fan, and I like anything Prince nostalgia. I'm always watching YouTube, figuring out things he went through, arguments he got into with Rick James when he was on tour. I'm just really dedicated to like learning what a lot of these artists went through. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I feel like because you like art in general, obviously, based on your wall, we were gonna talk about shoes and art, because I feel like shoes and art go hand in hand.
They do.
And people often have looked at me crazy for spending, $250 to $300 on a pair of shoes, and I'm like, no, they're just as valuable as a fucking purse.
It's an asset. Shoes are an asset. I own maybe 3,200 pairs. And
yo, not 3,200 pairs, yo.
I got a whole sneaker room upstairs in my house. And I've been a sneakerhead, and I know people with tens of thousands of sneakers, but the point that I'm making is the sneaker culture is a culture that only we know about it. Like, we always want to be fresh. So to be able to go in there in your closet and put on a brand new pair of sneakers every day of the year, that's pretty much a blessing, right? To be fresh. And then with sneakers, there's some you're gonna always keep, there's some you're gonna part with, there's some you're gonna donate, there's some you're gonna give away. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing with sneakers. There's plenty of sneakers that I got over 579 pairs right now for sale on my Poshmark account. You know what I'm saying? Because it's time to like get rid of them. So the thing about sneakers is it's a culture, and certain sneakers just they give you a sense of confidence and a sense of collector's vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely understand what you mean.
Same with art too, because I collect a lot of art as well. But sneakers more so. I don't have as much art as I do sneakers, but with art, it's the same thing. To own certain pieces, like this piece right here was from Karen Vernier, and she's from Canada. She's from Amsterdam. She's from Amsterdam, and there was only 25 of these made. You know what I'm saying? And I got it during the pandemic, so ain't no telling what it can appraise for now. You know You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like art is one of those things that is very underappreciated because I feel like most people in the world don't have a lot of mindfulness nowadays. So like trying to get them the concept of you actually sitting in a gallery and actually just releasing yourself into a piece of art, like they're like, no, I'm supposed to be on TikTok or some shit. Like, which isn't
Yeah,
bad, but like
yeah.
I
I think art galleries are. I think people should go out more and visit art galleries.
I do too.
I drop a lot of vlogs. I got a vlog on my YouTube page
Okay.
where I visited a couple art galleries, and I feel like that's important to go and see some art and to kind of just be inclined on what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole lot going on in the world. I keep art all around the house. You know what I'm saying? As you
Yeah.
see, there's art everywhere in my house. You know what I'm saying? Because art is like it's a thing. It's like one of those things that I feel like is important with the culture. You know what I mean? Art is like a tool. It's something
Mhm.
that keeps you visually, you know what I'm saying, sane. You know what I mean? And art defines. Art is like a definition. You know what I'm saying?
It's a timeless thing that like no matter what era of art you look at, like you can feel the depth behind it if you
Yeah,
actually enjoy art, you know?
fact.
I've when you talk about art, I love all kinds of media. Like I'm a huge movie person. So
Vice versa.
really I'm a huge media person. I always try to watch the newest movies that's come out. I always try to be because I used to work in a movie theater, so every time a movie came out, I was there, yo.
So yeah, and I think that you could it's certain movies that stick out the most in your childhood, and certain movies as an adult that you can remember, and you kind of like mash them all together, and they're gonna always be your favorites. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, do you know your top three movies off the top of your head? Because I don't.
Yeah, my top three favorite movies, I would say, let's go Back to the Future Part Two.
Okay.
And I picked that one because it's the liaison between one and three. So I feel like with
Mm,
two, you can get a glimpse of what one was, and then you can get a glimpse of what three is gonna be. That's
yeah.
why I can't pick the one or three because two is right in the middle, and you can see about
Yeah.
kind of like the
That,
other one. All right, my second one is gonna be a movie called The Professional. They
okay.
actually changed it. It's called Leon, The Professional.
I know that.
Yeah, yeah, the Italian hitman
Yeah.
with the 13-year-old girl, with the 11-year-old girl, and he had
Yeah.
her be a hit girl. Yeah, and then my third one is from Prince. It's called Under the Cherry Moon. You know what I'm saying? And if we're talking top three, those are like my top
Yeah.
three movies right there. You know what I mean? But Prince Under the Cherry Moon, because out of all of his films, Under the Cherry Moon, I like the storyline. It was filmed in black and white,
Mm,
and you got to see his charisma side the most, meaning like how funny he was. You got to see how balanced he was when it came to passion and romance. You got to see him as a musician. You
mm.
got to see him style. It was like everything in one with Under the Cherry Moon. Very good movie. I watched that movie a million times.
Yo, speaking about Prince, my youngest brother is about to be 15, and I was playing Raspberry Beret, and I was just doing shit around the house or whatever, and he looks at me, he's like, "Wasn't Prince gay?" And I looked at him, I was like, "Prince pulled more bitches than anybody." I feel like
Prince was the most feminine pimp
that's what I'm saying.
that you
Like,
could ever imagine.
if there was a
Prince,
pimp named Slickback, it would be Prince. Like,
Prince was the opposite of gay.
I
Even
know.
though he embraced the gay world and he
Hmm.
embraced the lifestyle, but he was very heterosexual. It's just that he was not he was never and he would even say it, he was never one to come off as masculine, but he
Yeah.
was very much a man, very much into women. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
could dress better than a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And can have better eyeliner and foundation than a woman. And still get a woman.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you had Prince who really fully wore a full face of makeup, but now this generation, like, unless you're Drake or like Little Yachty or someone of actual higher rap status, Lord forbid you paint your fucking nails.
Yeah,
Like,
and like I don't even judge that because
no,
I think it's all style. I think there's nothing feminine about painting your nails.
no, it's an
And
accessory.
like if you
Like,
a man and you into that, like I salute it. Like it's not. I don't really feel no type of way about the shit. Even me, I was gonna do my shit when I get manicures. I get clear polish, but one day I was gonna do my shit black one time. You know, black polish on a man is not doesn't make you feminine at all.
yeah, exactly. I agree with
That's
you.
just real talk. I don't care who see this or who think otherwise. It does not make you feminine. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
have black nail polish.
And I feel like that's only, unfortunately, a rap culture kind of vibe. Because, like, you have people in the rock genres for eons have been doing heavy makeup and nails and shit. And no one goes up to Ozzy and is like, yo, you're fucking gay. Like,
The point that
so,
I'm making is we have to pay attention more to what a lot of people are afraid to be themselves. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? A lot of people struggle with really being open with who they really are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And that's why a lot of relationships fail because people get with each other and they're not truly being homies with a person. Like
yeah.
me and my girl, we are really friends. We are true homies first and foremost. And
Yeah.
we lay it all out on the table.
As you
What you
should.
into sexually? What you into sexually? This is what I'm into. This is what I'm into. This is what I'm open to. This is who I really am. You fuck with me? You rocking? You sure? And then, you know what I'm saying? A lot
Yeah.
of people get with each other only to find out their time been wasted because they're not being true to who their real person. You got to
Yeah.
be true to your partner. Your real partner is gonna love you for you. So whoever
Yeah.
you are, you're supposed to be loved for who you are. And if that's
Mm,
and if you don't want to judge them or if you don't want to love them for being who they are, then you need to go get another partner. You know what I mean?
no,
Because there's
exactly.
somebody for everybody. And this is
Mm,
why I respect all honest relationships. I don't care if you poly, bi, try, whatever you into, it's an
yeah.
honest. It's an honesty attached to that. And that's why those relationships work because they came into it honest. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Versus, you know what I mean? Try to
Yeah.
do some shit only to find out your time been wasted or you got lied to or played or you get what I'm saying?
I feel like social media in general has really affected the way we A, look at people, and B, the way we use our relationships and the way we use our words. Because people don't know how to discuss things without discussing it with everybody. Like, I can't even tell you how many conversations I've had with my friends that they then post on social media and ask everybody's opinion like we didn't have this fucking discussion. You know, how many times that you discuss things with people and then next thing you know they're making a TikTok about you. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's hard with this generation to really establish up front what's good without everybody, I feel like, knowing it, when you have your generation of people who are just upfront honest because y'all don't have time to play no more. You're like, fuck
Yeah,
it.
and that's the difference. It's all about. I think how you were raised. I think your morality and I think your integrity plays a role into your
Yeah,
character.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Like so, if and this generally speaking, if you're someone who's searching for a serious relationship, I think it's important that the person you choose is big on their integrity and just who they really are versus you have to see past how good sex really is. You got to see past how you can benefit from a person, and you have to pay attention to the character first and foremost, and the integrity of the person that you're dealing with,
Definitely.
because that's when the spirits really align. You know,
Mm,
all this toxic bullshit that people like, it's like it seems like the toxic shit gets the most attention and it gets the most energy. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Nobody got time to be toxic and mind you, I have a past. I've definitely been through many things with women.
Yeah.
I've been. They got to re-meet me. I'm not the same person I used to be. How they once probably knew me, I'm probably not even the same person today.
Yeah.
But you gotta grow and you gotta go through things. So the point that I'm making is nobody has time to be in a repetitive situation where every year goes by, you're meeting the same vibe and it's like a revolving door. Nobody has time to like go through that shit. So whoever you align with, you just have to make sure it's good for your soul and your spirit, and there's peace involved. If it ain't that, then you just gotta run.
Yeah. Speaking about spirituality, what is your spiritual views? Because I'm a Buddhist and I try very hard to stick to that. It's very hard sometimes. Like I meditate often. I try to keep my chakras aligned and balanced
Keep
and
them
keep my goals
aligned.
straight.
Very important. Keep them aligned.
It is.
Um, my views are this. I was raised in a Baptist church.
Same.
Um, and as I grew older, I started to have an open mind when it came to religion amongst others,
Okay.
meaning see it through their lens as well, whether I agree or not, but still
Okay.
see it through their lens.
Hmm.
So with that being said, I have literally went and prayed with everyone. I've went and prayed with the Buddhists. I've went and prayed with the Islam Nation, which I'm down with heavy. I'm really down with the Islam Nation
Yeah.
heavy, and I fuck with everybody, whether it be Israelites, whether it be Jehovah's, whatever you're into. I'm rocking with you
Mm.
now, and I've went to all of their houses and prayed with them, and just got the perspective of how they believe, and I might even greet them how they greet, because that's
Yeah.
how they are. So I might, what I'm saying, that's me showing respect to their
Yeah.
belief, whether I'm in agreement or not. It's just me showing them respect to their belief. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Um,
Definitely.
there's a temple in Illinois called the Baha'i Temple. It's north. It's like near Evanston,
Okay.
and the temple is beautiful. It took 30 years to build.
Mm.
30 years to build this temple, right? Now, there's only 4 other Baha'i temples all over the world,
Okay.
but ours in Illinois is the best one. And you can actually YouTube it. If you put in the Baha'i Temple, it'll show you the one in Illinois. It's amazing, and it'll show you the ones all over the world. Now, with the Baha'i Temple, it's open to all religions.
Okay.
Anybody that believes what they believe can go into this temple. The temple is beautiful. It has a full garden 360 around it. The craftsmanship of the place is just when I first went, I spent 3.5 hours there, and I
Mm.
went at like 11:30 at night, and I might have stayed up to 3 a.m. because it was so beautiful. I
Yeah.
needed I needed to be there and just take it all in because I was amazed at it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it's very beautiful and it embraces our religion. So when it comes to spirituality, I'm open. I'm a spiritual person. That's just how I carry that. Like I'm just a spiritual person. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
do pray. It's not about who I pray to, but the Most High is who got me guarded, and those are the words that I use. I use the
Mm.
Most High because those are the best words to use. For the Master of the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And whatever anyone wants to call him, again, I'm respectful to. But the Most High is how I refer.
I feel you. I often tell people that I think the highest being of ourselves is really in control of our lives. You know, I really I don't judge anybody for what they believe in. I don't force anybody to believe what I believe in. I feel like that's mundane at the end of the day. Like everybody's gonna have their opinions regardless. I really wish that when it came to spirituality, there's a difference between spirituality and religion. Um, and that's not a bigger discussion, but I feel like when it comes to certain religious aspects, when you talk about, the concept of heaven or hell, everybody knows about it. Um, but that doesn't mean everybody believes in it, you feel me? Everybody knows that the concept that there could be ghosts, and there could be demons because there's so many things about it. But that doesn't mean you ask, a person from Islam if they believe in demons. They're not going to tell you, yeah, I do,
Because there's always going to be a conversation no matter what you believe in. It's
Yeah.
always going to be, and this is why I say only the aligned should have these discussions. Meaning, like, okay, if you're aligned and you believe a certain thing, then you should be the one talking to the one who believes what you believe in, because the conversations are going to go a little different. You
Yeah.
got to remember that a lot of people don't believe in the same things, so those conversations are going to get heated. Those conversations are not going to go anywhere. You get what I'm saying? Unless they come with an open mind, no matter what they believe in, and they come with an open mind, and they're willing to hear a person out.
So, do you believe that we're the only beings in the universe?
It's impossible to believe one thing. Like, if I don't live my life with an open mind, meaning thinking so far and not limiting the possibilities, then I would be crazy. So I think that it's the sky's the limit as to what exists, period. You know what I'm saying?
Factual. That's factual. I definitely agree with you. I feel like in the generation you growing up through the 80s and the 90s, as opposed to me in the 90s through the 2000s, like, the stuff we even watched on TV was different. Like, your cartoons, the way y'all watch them, I feel like our cartoons were less educational, more colorful, while your guys' stuff was more actual logical things, I feel like.
Yes. Yes.
So when I think about growing up, I just remember a lot of colors. I don't really remember watching anything really.
And colors is the way to market to kids, right? But the balance has to be education always. It don't matter what type of education, long as you learn something from it. You get what I'm saying? Whether that be branding or whether that be, because sometimes you go on YouTube right now and they'll have an educational something as to where they show you, okay, these are the top 30 brands. And then actually what they'll do is they'll take the words off and they'll leave the branding on the package. And then kids guess what it is. You get what I'm saying? From being in a car all the time with mommy or daddy, they're driving by McDonald's, so they see the golden arches. They don't see the words, but they know the arches. So it's like when you learn, you just got to find ways to stay creative with learning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like when it comes to big corporations like McDonald's and Domino's and Pizza Hut, like things of those nature that you have clear images of their image, I
But
feel
it's the
like
red factor. The red factor is you always incorporate red in the logo.
Yeah, definitely.
Red plays a major role in branding. It plays a major, when you look at State Farm, when you look at a lot of brands, red plays a major role in the branding of their brand.
I really do feel like people underestimate the power of the brain, because we know a lot about the brain and a lot about human function in general, that everything is so orchestrated in life that simple things that we take for not noticing, it's been purposely put that way for a reason, like
Facts.
certain we were talking about certain signs or certain colors. It's because people have already thought about ways to make you want to buy things. It's not like they're just done like that for coincidental purposes.
Yeah. We all can be sold on something. I don't care.
Yes.
Even the person selling some shit can be sold on some shit. Because I've sold a lot of things, and I know what draws me in to buy some shit. You get what I'm saying? It's how you market, it's how you present it, and it's always going to be just that lasting impression to make you want to nail the sale. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think everybody has a price then?
I think that everybody has a value. I don't want to say price, because some people can be valuable and a price isn't involved.
Okay.
They're valuable. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I know plenty of people who have a weakness and a strength, and the focus might be their strengths. You know what I'm saying? Even in relationships, both people, if both people can cook, that's cool. But if one person can cook out the couple, then that's their strength. Just because the other one that can't cook got the weakness, they got a strength too, or value. We just got to find out what it is. It could be the way they fold the socks, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's a value attached to them. So I wouldn't put a price, because even me, I don't got a price, but I know I'm valuable.
Got you. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. On a slight change of topic, I know we both are weed smokers. You've probably been smoking longer than I've been alive. High key. I want to know your favorite means of smoking, like your favorite wraps. Do you prefer blunts? Do you prefer bongs? Do you prefer L's? Like, do you do edibles? Like, what's your method as far as your smoking goes? How often?
Man, so my first tobacco with weed, and I'll talk about this on another podcast. My appendix burst.
Ooh,
and you can go you can go on YouTube and find it, and you'll see what I went through. My first go around with weed. My appendix burst. And then I started smoking more after that shit. But anyway, I started in the joint realm. You know what I mean? It starts with joints. And then, you know, your peers and your constituents and your teenage friends, blunts get involved, because blunt is the rapper's thing. You know what I'm saying? So for a long time, it was blunts that I was smoking, like real dumping the guts out blunt smoking. It's when I realized that it was unhealthy for me. And that took a long time, because I probably smoked blunts I had a 10-year run at least before I was like, okay, now I'm gonna start smoking joints or start doing cones.
Gotcha.
But I also have had even now, you know, I have a lot of different smoking options, as far as, you know, the different ways to smoke weed other than a joint. You know, you get what I'm saying? Because there's so many ways to smoke weed. So I like bongs with water, and I like everything. I collect a lot of those shits too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because it's, you know, it's sometimes it's a cleaner hit. The hit is way cleaner, and you know, it's a difference when you're burning and you ashing versus taking the hit and it hits you right away. You get what I'm saying? So I like I like all different ways. Now I would say my friend had put me on the wax 2 years ago.
Oh, the dabs?
The dabs. Now,
oof.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't understand how any motherfucker that do dabs can really have the strength and the power to stand it, because my lungs can't fuck with it.
I know.
I had a situation where I had took a hit not knowing how, because they used to have like this torch and shit. Like it was a whole thing. I'm like, damn, I feel like this crack in the 80s. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? So I took a hit of the dab, ran, because the hit was so hard. I ran. my eyes burst into tears. Yeah. And it kind of just caught me where I had to recatch my breath. And I was very water-eyed. I think that died down like maybe 7 minutes later. But it was a immediate. It's just not for me. Dabs ain't for me. I don't see how motherfuckers that do dabs can really stand that shit.
The first time, high key, I did a dab, I wasn't prepared. Like, I've seen my homie do. He does like at least like 7 dabs in a row.
You
just
gotta take a half a hit. You gotta, and then walk away.
You be going, yo. And I looked at him. I said, "Yeah, I could do that shit. Cool."
Yeah. As edibles, I like. I'm not really into bakery shit, but if you know, if if it presents to me correctly, you know, I'll indulge. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as edibles though, on the candy side, anything that's organic and doesn't have like, you know, crazy amounts of sugar and shit, like if it's gummies and they're organic, and you know, I'm down with things that still give me an organic type of vibe if it's edible. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big CBD fan. You know, I love CBD.
Really?
Yeah, I do CBD a lot because it calms me. It releases my anxiety. I deal with a lot of personalities on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
I'm either doing good business with you, arguing with you, screaming at you, getting screamed at. I deal with it all in this business emotionally.
Yeah.
But what I want to say is, I'm pretty much, down with the 420 fam when it comes to just, always being, a fan of weed. You know what I'm saying? And I like all types, but I like more upper weed these days versus downer weed. You know what I mean? If I smoke some downer weed, it got to be when I'm in the bed, relaxed with some green grapes, and I'm about to go, or I'm like just watching TV till I fall asleep. Then I can smoke some downer weed. That's why if I get some downer weed, I just put it next to the bed. You know what I'm saying? Upper weed, I needed to give me the you know what I'm saying?
Now are you smoking often? Because I can go through a zip a week if I'm pushing it. Like not even pushing it. Like if
A
I'm
zip for me is like a pound in a month. So like because I know how to roll, I can roll out of a zip. I can roll at least 200 of these, and I'll have joints just sitting here on the table. I'll put some joints up in the studio. I'll put joints by my bed.
Yeah.
And then I'll have that rotation going on for 4 weeks. And the zip is gone. A zip, I can literally do it. I can treat it like a pound in a month's time. A zip of weed is good for me in 30 days. And I know that sounds crazy. And guess
It
what?
sounds crazy.
And guess what? It's still enough weed for me. It's still enough. I smoke a lot. It's always joints around. Because I just know how to, I guess I'm always just good with knowing how to I'm the guy that can make 100,000 look like $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just know what to do with it and not just go run through it and shit and be.
Yeah. Does your girl smoke though?
My girl does not smoke, but she likes edibles. And she likes THC drinks. So she likes those drinks that taste like soda. She likes those, and then she likes edibles for sure. But she don't smoke at all. Hell no. She'll hit a vape, like one of those vapes that come in like a cartridge.
Yeah.
Like while she drinking or something. But she not fucking with no weed.
See, I can't really do edibles unless I'm doing like a savory dish, like making lasagna or doing like fried chicken or tacos.
THC edibles will give you a moment. My girl had a crazy moment, man. It was but I had her covered. I took care of her and had her covered. But THC will give you moments where you're really tweaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah, I'm anemic, so if I don't eat prior to taking edibles, I'm fucked.
Yeah, for sure. No, I understand. And that's why I say you should do edibles in moderation.
Yeah.
And you should do them amongst someone you can trust.
Facts.
Like shrooms. You gotta do shrooms in moderation and shrooms amongst someone you trust.
I feel like any drug for the first time you take, you should do near someone. I don't recommend doing drugs by yourself because that's how you form addictions.
Hey, I done had some episodes with THC, like episodes where I feel like I'm dehydrated, and I'm like, one time I was so desperate, I put my mouth under a public faucet.
I'm weak.
Under a public faucet, man, because I felt like I needed to rehydrate. Some THC edibles will literally dry you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I've had too many fucked up times on edibles because I'm impatient. Like if I'm smoking a blunt, I'm high at that moment. Like if not soon after. Edibles, you could be chilling, doing what. Next thing you know, you're smacked, and you're like, "Oh fuck!" Like I don't like that shit. Right. But what do you think when it comes to the legalization of marijuana? Like here in Illinois, it's different. But me coming up from North Carolina, where it's not legal, it was hard as fuck getting rights to stream even because everybody knows my podcast. I'm smoking so coming up here. Do you think even with the legalization of it, if that's legalized, do you think other drugs are going to start to get questioned legalized, like mushrooms, LSD, shit of that nature?
Anything that's government taxable or that the government can be a partner on will be legalized. If the government feels like the drug isn't something that they want to endorse or be a partner with, I mean that's the answer right there. Like weed is a business. This is damn near $1 trillion business.
Yeah.
So it's of course they had to legalize it eventually. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, potentially they really could. I feel like if they don't legalize it, the crime rates will not go up. They won't change. I feel like there's gonna be a more of a growth in growing your own because that's what I'm looking into. I'm tired of dealing with drug dealers first off because people don't drug deal like they used to. Like now I'm waiting for these kids to sometimes make me wait 20 fucking minutes to get my drugs when
And
opposed to like
even with that, and
mhm,
let me just be devil's advocate for a second,
mm,
just for a second. Um, it's becoming to the point now where even weed won't even be trusted with the whole fentanyl crisis. You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes,
Because you know, unless you trust your dealer, and I'm
mm,
talking about really trust your dealer, and you don't switch dealers. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because the dealer going to jail. If you die, the dealer's going to jail. Rest in peace, Mac Miller. The dealer's
that,
going to jail. You know what I'm saying? So we is getting to a point now where we have to be extremely cautious of who we copping that weed from as well, because the fentanyl epidemic is on a serious
yeah,
rise. And just as far as the poisoning of it, the aspect of how it's being used and what drug is being used on, aside from the drugs that we know already. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Be
which
very,
is
very careful. Be very
you
careful.
really do. Um, I since my brother is younger, he has his friends over and they're starting to smoke being 15, 16, they're starting to get into their smoking phase. And I look at them and I really truly tell them like, "Yo, make sure you guys are paying attention. If you're going to buy drugs, fuck it. You're a minor whatever, do you. You're not my kid." But like at the end of the day, y'all have to be really careful cuz you're buying weed, you're buying pills, especially pills cuz people don't normally test their pills as they should. They just pop them. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
So you really gotta be careful, like you said nowadays, about where you get your stuff, who's reputable, who's not, type things. Dispensaries, which are really overpriced, but
Well, it's
they're
not that the
pivotal.
dispensaries are overpriced. It's just that the tax that we feel we're being taxed with, that's the
Yes,
money that's going to the government.
yes, yes.
So
I agree with you.
out here where I'm at, they have sometimes where you buy a zip, you get a free zip. Or
Okay.
if I know Black Friday they had $4 apes. So imagine paying
Okay.
$4
I bet they're
for
booming.
for 3.5 grams.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's all about which you just got to know how to catch the deal. My
mm,
thing is always find new dispensaries because you're a new customer, which gonna mean you're gonna get new. They're gonna give you a deal out the gate. Like you might go
mhm.
in and since you your first time, they're gonna let you spend 45 and you're gonna feel like you got 90 or 100 worth or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, most definitely. I feel like when it comes to the the rapid growth of either tobacco stores, CBD stores, or dispensaries, like they're taking up a lot more than what people are recognizing, especially in the newer, I guess you would say, hipster or gentrification areas that are trying to appeal to the audience or cater to the people that they're kicking out of the neighborhood. You feel me? It's like
yeah, that's the
the
difference between
gentrification of it, yeah, but they're
that's the
trying to
difference
still
between
keep them.
that's the difference between real weed smokers and people who are trying weed for the first time, or
Mhm.
people who've been doing this weed shit but they just want to get out their comfort zone and you know what I mean, like, so real weed smokers are going to be open minded. That's why I stay like traveling and going to different markets, because when I go to Portland, and I love PDX a lot, you know what I mean, but when I go to Portland, they have so much weed and so many different kinds, and like the prices are just insane when it comes to like
Yeah,
deals. Like, man, I spent some money and I felt like I got double for what I spent. Like,
really.
so
Have you traveled like outside the US?
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Everywhere: Germany, London, Canada, Kuwait, Jamaica. You know what I mean? I'm the guy that I always like to live life in a sense and be a wanderer too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I haven't been traveling internationally like I used to, but like 3, 4, 5 years back, I used to travel internationally a lot, just for the sake of networking, for the sense of like seeing the world, you know. And I want to get back to that. You know what I mean? I'm just in the transition of going into you know, building my family and my foundation. So I want to make sure that's secure first, and then you know we'll get around to it.
Speaking about foundations, let me ask you this before we close out. Mention again where everybody can find your social medias and things of that nature. That way we can get that locked in
For
as
sure.
well.
Instagram, Uncle JoNH, the number 3. My YouTube channel is UncleJohnMusic.com. So you go to Uncle John, JoNH Music.com, and it'll take you that, it'll redirect you to my YouTube channel. And on my YouTube channel, I'm dropping content every single week for the rest of the year. So that means a new vlog, a new video, a new song, a new beat, a new project. You will always see every week some type of new content from me in the consistency form of this Uncle John III brand.
Sounds dope. Well, that's what's up. I appreciate you being on Let's Be Blunt.
Yeah, and
And
I'm gonna be back. You know, like I want to be one of those reoccurring guests and shit.
oh,
So
definitely.
they definitely gonna. I'm gonna be like how Boosie is on Vlad and shit. You gonna see me. I'm gonna be popping up and shit. You know what I'm saying? Here and
Almost
there.
definitely.
I got a lot of shit I'm gonna be promoting this shit. Project wise, my biggest projects again. I'm gonna be dropping the Confetti Experience. My second project is South of 402, and then Mineral Water 2, the album, which everybody's anticipating as well. You know what I mean? I got a lot of dope cultural ass things going on. You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be dope, and of course, Let's Be Blunt always is gonna be posting Uncle John 3 Experience. We're so excited for you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it, and as always, everybody can find my social medias in my link tree as well. And of course, I love y'all and stay safe. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.